Hello and welcome back to another Royal Reviewer channel episode. It is September? It is September. My goodness, where has the year gone? It's been one of those weird years where, oh my goodness, it just seems like everything's gone really, really slow, but also really, really quickly. Anyway, I am back in September. As you know, I have been uploading and posting my vlogs when I visited London. That's taken a lot of time and effort behind the scenes to get all of those edited and put out there. So hopefully you have been enjoying all of my London vlogs. So seeing as I'm done with that, I also decided to take about a week off, kind of posting live chats and videos, just because I haven't had a break in about 5 years. I haven't taken, a few days off in 5 years, basically. So I felt like it was the time, finally, to take some time off. It was weird. It felt really weird not to be posting videos and not to be doing live chats. But I made it. And even though I was taking some downtime, I was still working behind the scenes. I've been working on redesigning all of my platforms and social media, and of course editing those vlogs, although that was fun. That was more like fun rather than work. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed everything. Today I just dropped the Kensington Palace Princess Diana dress vlog, so if you've not seen that, do go and check that out, because that was phenomenal. When I walked in there, and there it was in the foyer, it was just there in a glass case. We had the Princess Diana iconic Travolta dress. It was phenomenal to see it up close, and it really does look black from a distance, and then when you get up close you can see that it is this really, really deep blue colour, dark deep blue colour. It is a gorgeous dress in the flesh. To see it, even though I'm looking through a glass case, it was amazing. So if you haven't seen that vlog, go and check it out. Also, I visited the wider state apartments in Kensington Palace. Again, that was just incredible to be there at the King's Staircase. And I think that William and Catherine's apartment isn't too far from the state apartments. If I'm thinking about my geography of Kensington Palace correctly, I think there is actually a connecting corridor from apartment 1A, and I think it joins up somewhere round about the King's Staircase. So in the clip where I'm going up the big staircase, I think through one of those doors and then a corridor away is actually William and Catherine's apartment 1A. I'm pretty convinced I'm right on that. I will check again the geography and layout of Kensington Palace, but I'm pretty certain years ago when I was looking, as you do, when I was looking at the layout of Kensington Palace and the state apartments, I'm sure there is like a linking corridor and then a door that goes leads onto the King's Staircase. So I was, if I'm correct, I was that close from being almost in William and Catherine's apartment 1A. It was phenomenal. So yeah, the King's Gallery, the Queen's Gallery, the room where Queen Victoria was born, I saw it all. I saw Queen Victoria's dolls in a glass case. I saw her dress that she wore when she was 12. Obviously, like I said, the room that she was born in. The room where she gave her first council, there was a big long table. I saw her coronation mantle. Oh my goodness, there was just so much going on. Also, on the day that I went, it was raining, but I did really want to go into the sunken garden. But the sunken garden was actually having work carried out on it. You can see that clearly from my video. I peeked through a window and got some footage. So yes, that work actually began earlier in the year. It was put off because of COVID, and obviously now work is only recommencing on there. But after my visit, it was revealed, of course, that the new Diana statue, which has been designed with William and Harry's input, it's their baby, that is actually going to be sited in the sunken garden. And I was actually speaking to staff whilst I was at Kensington Palace, and one of the questions I asked, this is before we knew, before we had the information about where the statue was going to be, I said, I'm asked most often on my channel, where is this statue going to go? What's happening with the statue? Just as much as 2 weeks ago, the palace staff, the historic royal palace staff, had no idea what was happening with that statue. They had no clue. They literally said, we have no information. And they were not just fobbing me off. I could genuinely tell they had no information. It was very much William and Harry's baby. William and Harry were always going to just tell the palace where it was going to go. In fact, the lady that I spoke to thought that in her ideal world, it should maybe go in the meadow location of Kensington Palace, because she thought that that's where Diana would feel most free. But no, it is going to be sited in the sunken garden, and that is under renovation at the moment. And as I said, there was even talk amongst palace staff that they didn't know whether the delay was because of Prince Harry stepping back and maybe not having the good communication with William on the project. But no, it is all going ahead. We do not have any idea on what the design is. Now, I've always said that I really, really would love the statue to represent Diana dancing. And I love that John Travolta photograph where Diana's arm is extended and she's dancing. I love that. That would be the ideal statue pose for me. I've always said that, but we do not know. We do not know what William and Harry have chosen for the final design. Belen says, do I know some of the royals? Sadly not. Although, if any of them want to come round for tea, I'm more than happy to host them with a coral cushion. They can come and sit on my bench with my coral cushions if they want. I will not say no. Brenda, the swan on the wall over here. There's Brenda, if you didn't know who Brenda was. Brenda will welcome anybody. So, there we go. H. London says, I have seen that Travolta dress. I stood there with a huge smile. The night was... Yes, it was amazing. And she danced just marvellously in that dress. It was gorgeous. And of course, historic royal palaces who run and look after Kensington Palace, or the state apartments, I should say, they bought it back last year. I think it cost £250,000 to buy it back because, of course, Diana famously auctioned those dresses, a collection of dresses. In fact, it was William's idea to do so for charity back in the 90s. I think it was 96. It was the year before she sadly lost her life. And historic royal palaces have bought it and kind of brought it back to Kensington Palace, where I imagine it will probably remain on display for a long time. Having something of that value in the collection, you wouldn't just put it in a drawer and leave it. I think that is something that will be exhibited somewhere for a long time. It may change location, I don't know, but it was kind of in the main foyer, which, just when you walk in and then poof, there it is. There's the dress. I mean, it was quite a shock. Like, I almost thought maybe it would be in its own separate room. But no, it's there. It's bang in a room. Just off the central foyer are the toilets. So, it's in a room literally right next to the toilets. I got to spend quite a good amount of time at the palace with that dress. Visitor numbers, obviously because of COVID, are down. The staff were telling me that usually they have about 2,000 people a day walking through Kensington Palace. When I was there, it was me, my partner, and probably about 5 other people. I mean, we pretty much, you can tell from the footage, we pretty much had the palace to ourselves. Obviously, it was sad the sunken garden was closed. It was raining, so I couldn't really do any of the other gardens, and obviously I was in a rush to get onto the Natural History Museum. I would have loved longer. Maybe I can go back. I'd love to go back when the statue is being unveiled. July the 1st of 2021 is when the statue is going to be finally unveiled to the public. So I would love to go. I would love to be able to get maybe a media pass or something and go there, because that would be absolutely spectacular to go. Yes, H. London, I would love, if I can't go and see it on the day of reveal, I would love to go back and revisit the sunken garden. I really, really would. Belen says, in England, still use face masks? Yes, in public places and shops. So, yeah, in shops, but you don't have to wear them if you're sat down at a restaurant. On public transport, you have to wear them too. Oh, I should probably put my new glasses on as well so that I can actually read. Belen says, I very much like your videos because I can practice English. Thank you. I'm glad you're using them to practice your English as well. That's really, really good. Bev says, I really enjoyed the London vlogs. Me too. I really, really did. Yes, Julie, I did hear that Harry and Meghan are going to produce programmes for Netflix. I made a whole video about it about half an hour ago on my other channel, Steps of Sussex. So if you head on over there, you will hear me talking at length, discussing at length Harry and Meghan signing this apparently big deal with Netflix. Of course, we do not know the amount. The amount remains unknown of how much it was worth or even how that money is going to be used. But anyway, I speak about that at length on my Steps of Sussex channel. I also saw tiaras at Kensington Palace, one of Queen Victoria's, and there was so much. It was all really, really, really beautiful. So do go and check that out. Right, I also want to catch up with a little bit of royal news from the tail end of the summer. So as we know, the Queen is safely installed. I like to use the phrase safely installed. She is safely installed at Balmoral for the summer, where she's expected to stay, maybe even until as late as, October. And then she's expected not to return to Buckingham Palace, but to go back to Windsor instead, where she will remain until Christmas, when she will go to Sandringham as normal. That is the plan at the moment. Of course, things are subject to change depending on what happens with any potential lockdowns in the future or changes. So at the moment, it's the plan to complete Balmoral as normal, then head to Windsor, which is not normal, and then obviously go to Sandringham for Christmas, which is normal. However, it is expected that the Queen will try to attend certain engagements at Buckingham Palace if it is deemed safe to do so. So, for example, Remembrance Sunday, the Queen would very much like to be at the cenotaph to watch her wreath being laid. However, if that's not possible, then it won't be possible. Things are going to continue to be different this year. However, the Queen is enjoying her Balmoral break, and of course, she has had family members to come and visit. It's been the first time that she has seen some of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren for quite a while. So there were reports that the Cambridges took George, Charlotte and Louis to see the Queen over the bank holiday weekend of last week. And there are reports, of course, that William usually takes part in the Balmoral shoot, the Balmoral kind of hunting season. They have a big famous grouse shoot and all the rest of it. And George apparently watched his father do that. He's observed previously before, so that took place. Obviously, the Queen has not been attending Sunday church. Normally, we get beautiful pictures from inside the car. The paparazzi take pictures outside, and we get to see what the Queen's wearing, what kind of hat she's wearing, what brooch, or who's in the car. It normally gives away who is actually at Balmoral with the Queen. We've not had that this year because of COVID, so the Queen's not been attending church, although she has been worshipping privately at Sandringham on Sundays. But, we haven't seen this kind of public family show like what we would normally get to see. So I'm a little bit disappointed and sad about that, but we can understand fully why. So the Cambridges have spent some time with the Queen up at Balmoral, as has Prince Andrew. Now, the media has made much about Prince Andrew attending the Queen. Lots of people have said that he was called or that he dashed or rushed to see the Queen. In my view, we do not know exactly the reason why he went to Balmoral, but, as one of the Queen's children, he would normally go and see the Queen at Balmoral, and I think that's what we have seen is that he's just gone to see his mother and father at Balmoral as he would normally. As for the reasons behind that, I am sure that they may have discussed certain things, his future, what's going on in his the present situation, what could happen in the future going forward. I am sure that those things were possibly discussed, although very hard to talk, I think, to your parents, especially with one of your parents being the monarch, about such things. However, this is something that's going on. I was hoping that this issue, one way or the other, would be resolved this year, but it looks like it's going to go on, I think, into 2021. So we do not know what's going to happen with Prince Andrew's future with regards to being a working member of the royal family. We know that he has had to quit for the time being. However, that has never been put out there as a permanent thing, a permanent feature for Prince Andrew. So we do not know what's going to happen, although I expect that we probably won't see any change this year. If we do, I mean, I would love for just it to be resolved one way or the other. I would love for the whole situation to be resolved. However, like I said, I don't think that's going to happen this year. So possibly we're looking more towards the 2021 before probably Prince Andrew's position within the royal family is re-looked at. But yeah, I think the press has been doing their usual thing of making much of something that's actually normal, in the fact that Andrew would normally go to see the Queen at Balmoral, his mother and father, and I think this year is no exception. We do not know if Beatrice and Eugenie have been. I haven't seen any kind of evidence of that. We do not know if Sarah has been, because sometimes she goes and accompanies Andrew and the girls, and sometimes she stays in a little cottage on the grounds, so we don't know kind of what's gone on there. Right, I am now going to move on to the Duchess of Cambridge's #HoldStill. Now, as you know, many months ago, at the start of lockdown, she launched a campaign in conjunction with the National Portrait Gallery, of which she is patron, to choose 100 photos that kind of form like a time capsule to document lockdown and what we've experienced during COVID-19. They had, and I'm reading from notes, they had 31,598 submissions. They have whittled it down as a team to 100. Now, from 31,000, well, first of all, that is a huge success in terms of submissions. So to whittle it down to the best of just 100, I think is rather incredible. So I can't wait to see this launched. The launch will go ahead on Monday the 14th of September, so not long to wait, and I can't wait to be able to see all those photos and maybe do a little bit of a video talking about them. However, we did get to see a little bit of a sneak peek. I will read the statement. So Kensington Palace, Kensington Royal, released a little photo saying the final 100 hold still, where they were teasing us with a document, a zip file that they were sent. And the message says, "Dear judges, I am thrilled we have chosen the final 100 portraits. I thought you might like to see the images all together, so please find them attached. Stop teasing us, Catherine. I couldn't have done it without you, so thank you so much for your help. Signed, C." Catherine, stop teasing us with your zip files. Send me the zip file. I want to see, thank you very much. But she did give us 3 photos of which we can look at. So I will just kind of turn this around and show you now. So one of the photos is obviously of someone in the medical profession, and they are eating, I think, what must be a takeaway food during one of their break times. And it looks like she is really savouring the flavour, let's put it that way. So obviously, I think that photograph represents the fact that someone's had a really hard shift. She's either a carer or she's in the medical profession, it looks like, and she's finally getting a moment to herself where she can recharge her batteries, and she's like, food, I need that. So that, I think, was a really lovely photo. Also, this one, which is in a church or a place of worship, and it's an empty congregation with just faces. And I actually remember the story because I remember that the normal congregation had actually sent in photographs of themselves to be put in the church or place of worship so that obviously they could feel like they were being there. So again, that is another example of what we've had to deal with during the current circumstance. The next one is obviously a mother with her child during lockdown. I'm sure many of us, have a similar experience, whether it be, animals, pets, children, relatives. Life changed. Life changed quite drastically. And, lots of people reacted differently to the situation that we are in. And I think lots of these photographs are going to represent that. So I can't wait to see those final 100 and to be able to talk about those when we actually get to them. Right, I'm going to find the live chat. H London, I would love to visit Windsor. I really, really would. That's kind of next on my list. And Edinburgh. I'd love to go and see the Royal Yacht Britannia and all those different things as well. Where is the crown kept? The crowns are kept in the Tower of London. And I did go, obviously, very, very close to the Tower of London. But the day that I was there, in that part of London, the Tower of London was shut. I have been previously in about 2014, before I started doing vlogs. And I did get to see the crown in the Jewel House. I did also, however, get to see the George IV diadem, which I'm sure you saw in one of the London vlogs. That was part of an exhibition in the Queen's Gallery at Buckingham Palace. It doesn't normally live there. It does normally live in the Tower because I have seen it in there. But it is actually at the moment on exhibition in the Queen's Gallery. So if you're in London, do go and check that out. Thank you to Kate, who says the decor looks fabulous. Yeah, I finally got the picture put on the wall. So I thought it would look quite nice there. So that's kind of where we've gone. Right, I'm trying to see if I've missed any comments. No. I think we'll just carry on with all the stories that I wanted to talk about. So, on August the 15th, we're going back quite a bit now. If you remember VJ Day, Prince William gave a really nice speech. And I just wanted to comment. I'm not going to comment on the whole content of the speech. I'm sure if you haven't seen it, you can go and check it out. I think it's on the Royal Family, the main Royal Family YouTube channel. There is also a clip on Twitter. But I just wanted to comment about how stately that I thought William looked. I think he's definitely stepping up and looking the part of a king in waiting. You could almost imagine him as Prince of Wales or as king delivering a similar speech. So I wanted to comment on how professional I thought William looked, how professional I thought he sounded, and he's definitely stepping up to the plate. There's been much talk about because of Harry and Meghan's exit from the royal family, there being lots of kind of extra work for the Cambridges to do. I've spoken at length about this. I don't think that their exit has produced any extra work on the day-to-day basis for William and Catherine, because obviously Harry and Meghan were doing their charities and patronages anyway. Where there is going to be a gap is most definitely going to be in overseas travel. Any obviously there are less royals to choose from if the government are requesting royals to go on certain tours. So obviously I think there will be slack to be picked up on when it comes to overseas travel and tours. I think we'll be seeing the Cambridges doing a lot more foreign visits, foreign tours on behalf of the UK government representing the Queen. But in terms of the day-to-day stuff, the workload hasn't changed because, of course... Hello, am I back? Right, okay. I don't know how much you got of what I said, but anyway, so my phone started ringing. Obviously, I record off my phone, I live stream from my phone, and I had an incoming call, and it completely scrambled the entire live stream. In fact, it actually disconnected me from my router. So anyway, I'm back now. I don't know where it cut off. But anyway, I was talking about William, and I was saying that I think that we will see an increase in overseas travel for the Cambridges because of Harry and Meghan stepping back, because of the situation with Prince Andrew as well. Obviously, that's created a bit of a vacuum, but I do think that William is looking a lot more stately these days. I think he's really, really stepped up to the platform, and I think he will eventually make a really, really good Prince of Wales if that is conferred on him, and of course a really, really great future king. So do go and check out the VJ Day speech. And I've already spoken about Prince Andrew at Balmoral. So I'll head over for the final portion of today's catch-up video over to you guys, and I will answer any questions that you have. So yeah, I'm just going to go up and see if there was any. Belen says, you are very proud of the royals, and that is very good, because some people are not proud of their folklore of their lives. Yeah, and of course I do have a passion for England and the royal family. It's an interest that I have always had, a long-held interest, and it's a privilege and really, really great to be able to talk about the royal family from the British perspective, hopefully very objectively, an objective British point of view, with regards to the whole spectrum of royals. Right, and unless we've got any pertinent questions, I will leave it for today. So sorry about that little bit of a technical blip earlier on. So if you've enjoyed today's catch-up video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media, and also, of course, do hit the bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. Also, thank you so much for all of the channel members here on YouTube, and also the patrons on Patreon. I'm just about to set up the Flab to Fab on Elliot and Matt's British Life, and also the patrons only chat as well. So I will send out that link in about an hour and a half for all of you who are a patron on Patreon. Also, I'm going to give you, all the patrons, a little sneaky peek of the Royal Reviewer merch. So make sure it's not too late to sign up for Patreon, and I will send you out the link. So from me in Shropshire, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.